Joe, week 7, there's a new leader.
Yeah.
I've taken back control. 43 to 17. You have 42 to 18. Dude, I got to give us a round of applause here for just a moment. Not too shabby on these game picks here, my man. But there is a new leader in the clubhouse, I got to tell you.
I don't know what we were at last year. Look, you're not going to...
Dude, we were about 50%. We struggled in the beginning part of it. Yeah, we did.
Were we that bad last year?
Yeah, we were pretty bad. Like, we were really bad. But this year, we're much, much better.
Yes, we're doing a lot better.
Yeah, we're doing a lot better. So, I'm just telling you, we have been pretty good at these. Let's get through some of them now. Ohio State goes to Oregon. Joe, both of us taking the Buckeyes here.
Yeah. What we talked about in the preview still stands for me. I think this game is won along the line of scrimmage. More specifically, I do not have faith in Oregon's interior offensive line to be able to block Tyleik Williams and that entire defensive front. I think that pressures are going to build up against Gabriel. I think Gabriel is going to have a couple of mistakes. He might have an interception, fumble, whatever it is. He has not been on point. And I think that they're going to have a ton of trouble running the football, which has been important for them, for their offense staying ahead of schedule. That's the separation point. We need to acknowledge that one team's firing on all cylinders and one has been taking a few weeks to get going. And I don't think that this is an indictment on Oregon and the future success that they could have later on in the year. It's just a little too early for them to face Ohio State. So give me Ohio State to win this one.
I'm going to go 31-28. I think Oregon's on a last-second drive, and they're unable to do it. They're unable to convert. That's what I'm going to go.
I can get behind that.
I'm going to go with – I think the game's going to be really entertaining. I think it's still – like, regardless of Oregon's in that place, I'm always going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Give me Ohio State 31-28. USC goes to Penn State. Penn State is the team that both of us chose here. I got to admit something here, Joe, on this pick. Mm-hmm. Man, a lot of teams that have traveled that far this late in the season, they've had issues. I'm not willing to count out USC completely in this one, but their running game has just been so good. That's why I went ahead and went with them.
But by the way, really quickly, I did go and check what our Week 12 totals were. You were 51-33. I was 52-32. So we're probably going to pass our total wins. We didn't pick 10 every single week last year, but we're definitely doing better percentage-wise. To talk about this game, though, the travel is going to be tricky, and I do think that it is definitely holding a toll on a lot of these guys in their performances and having to make these trips. I think to Penn State's benefit, they haven't had to go cross-country yet. So that helps them. You know, they're not doing this multiple times in 1 month. So this is the first time that they're doing it. Second of all, I keep coming back to I really have faith in the running game led by Kotelnicki. I think that maybe not in the first half, but in the second half, third quarter, midway through, they're going to start to break free. Nick Singleton's going to have a big gain. Katron Allen's going to have a big first down. The run game will prevail, and Penn State will win.
I agree with you, but I'm telling you, man, I don't trust it. I believe in it, but I don't trust it. I would equate it like this. You and your girl are just started dating, and you think y'all are in a good spot, but you don't know if you can completely trust her yet. You know, she's going out with the girls, having some fun. All I'm going to say is that's how I feel about Penn State. I think you might be a good one, but I don't trust you.
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts. I don't know how to respond to that. Let's go with it.
It's a very. I'm telling you, it's a very accurate assessment. Trust me.
Okay.
Tennessee, Tennessee and Florida. We're both going with the Vols.
I'm taking Tennessee. I think this is a get right game. I think that for what Tennessee has dealt with, you're pissed off with a loss. You got to prove everybody wrong. You're going to show out. You're going to try and put up as many points as you can. You're going to try and take chances a little bit more, be more aggressive offensively, open things up some more. Yeah, I'm going with Tennessee here.
I'm going to agree with you, but
I'm going to use
my time for this. Blake Morgan says, "I love your explanation."
Yeah, one of your Facebook followers likes your.
All I am saying is don't disrespect Facebook.
I'm not disrespecting them, but they're there for you. They're not there for me. Unlike the followers of this channel being split down the middle.
All I am saying is, it was a good explanation. I 100% agree with you about the Vols. Colorado and Kansas State, both of us going with the Buffs. Joe, Sunday night, if they beat Kansas State the way that we think that they're going to win, we're going to have a segment on this show about Colorado because of just the perception of Colorado potentially winning the Big 12.
They'll be ranked. I'm not ready to jump in on them going that far and to finish the season that strong. I think 9-3, 8-4 is 1,000% on the table and accomplishable for them if they beat Kansas State. But this game specifically, the advantage that they will have is if they can build a 10-point lead at home, they can pull away later on, and it's going to be too difficult for Kansas State to get back into it because they just don't have the potency trying to throw the football. So I feel strong about this one, but I'm like 55% leaning towards Colorado.
I agree. There's a solid path to beat Colorado. We saw it. If Kansas State can be effective running the football, which the last time we saw someone at quarterback that could really move, they played North Dakota State and got in a dogfight early in the season. If you remember, Avery Johnson can move and they can keep the ball away. I will remind you, if that happens and Colorado's massively losing that time of possession game, Kansas State's going to roll here and it's going to get ugly pretty quickly. I'm telling you, don't play around with them. Like Joe said, Alabama versus South Carolina, both of us projecting that Bama will bounce back here.
Another get-right game. And like we saw with Ole Miss last week, they're going to be able to find a little bit of juice, and they're going to be a lot more locked in. You don't get upset 2 weeks in a row. I'm sorry. Unless you're a really bad football team with a really bad coaching staff, that's not this Alabama team. Embarrassing, program-defining upset that they suffered last week. This is a bounce-back situation for them.
I don't know what South Carolina is going to show up. Joe, I really don't.
The same one that's shown up every single week, the mediocre one.
Because, I mean, let's just be real with it. I mean, against a really good Kentucky team, they were able to run the football.
It's not a really good Kentucky team.
Okay, really good Kentucky defense. Excuse me. A really good Kentucky defense. They ran the ball at will. LSU, they ran the ball at will. I mean, then they go again against Ole Miss. Joe Beamer is an idiot. He went for it on his own side of the football.
My whole argument in the offseason that everyone got all bent out of shape over. He's not a good coach. He's supposed to be this special team savant, and he did all that bullshit. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with picking Alabama. I think they're going to smoke them.
Oh, I think they're going to smoke them too, but I'm just saying. Their defense is good.
Yeah.
Notre Dame on upset alert, but we both go with the Irish.
Stop it. Yeah. I swear to God. All I'm going to say is just please, just win. I don't care what the score is. If you win by 2, I'm happy with it. Just win, please. Actually, you need to blow them out to bolster your resume. But
in the last time y'all went to Stanford, you lost?
No, it's at home. Last time Stanford came to South Bend, we lost. So that's worse.
You ain't got nothing to worry about. I do think Riley Leonard's competent enough to throw the football. This is a very bad secondary for Stanford. If you can't throw the ball, I'm serious to God, I'll come in here Sunday ripping them alive because, dude, this secondary is just so bad. You got to be able to throw the football. So, but I think they're good enough to do that.
One quick thought that I brought up on my Bleacher Report stream today: where Stanford could beat them, Elike Manor is one of the best contested catch receivers in the country. Ben Morrison, his biggest weakness is he's light and he's not a very big play strength guy. So if he's getting cooked by A.O. Manor and they're just throwing jump balls to him every single drive, oh man, that game is going to be frustrating as hell for Notre Dame fans.
So probably pretty much what's about to happen then. I don't know a Notre Dame fan that has a fun time watching the game.
No.
Ole Miss, LSU, I'm going with the Tigers. You're going with Ole Miss. Our only disagreement on the weekend. Of course it is.
I think that the way that Ole Miss last week got their offensive groove back a little bit, facing off against an LSU defense that is showing some signs of weakness, I think Jackson Dart's going to have a pretty good game. I still contend that this is going to be high scoring like last year, and I think they're going to be able to eke out a close win.
If I'm being realistic, I don't disagree with your logic. I don't think your logic's non-sound. Can full 1,000% see that being the case. However, Ole Miss has not played anybody that has an offense like this and can get after the passer. LSU's 15th in the country in sacks. They haven't played an extra game like other teams, and they're still 15th. They've had a bye week. The most of the teams that lead that statistic, Ole Miss is 76th in the country in sacks. Teams have gotten after them. I have a little bit of a hunch through some things that I heard. Jackson Dart better get that ball out quick because they're going to send the heat. So that's all I'm going to say on that one. But what only reason it gives it to me is because I have an intuition feeling that place at night with this team that it's going to be pretty hard. If they go in there and win, Joe, they're going to be in my top 5. I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
Oh, it's hot. Come on. That's a little aggressive.
They're better than Miami at that point. All right. I missed one. BYU, Arizona, both of us going with the undefeated Cougs here.
I almost went with Arizona here, but because it's at BYU and because Arizona's by the way, Arizona lost last weekend and we didn't even talk about it. Like they were ranked and everything was kind of going great for them, and then they dropped their game this past weekend. BYU is going to win. I think that they are going to be more physical than them, and they play so freaking well at home. So I got to go with BYU.
Something about religion service teams. Okay. The Lord is always on their sides.
Well, that's not the case for Notre Dame,
that's the reason why Notre Dame's always relevant. You know what I mean? Because of the Lord.
If God cared more about Notre Dame, then we would be winning national championships.
You mean to tell me if Mormon Jesus believe more in BYU? Okay. But we're both going with the Cougs.
Yeah.
Iowa State and West Virginia. We're both going to Iowa State. Joe, let's hold off on that because we're about to do a prediction there. Texas and Oklahoma. Both of us going with Texas here.
Oklahoma doesn't have the firepower. Plain and simple. They do not have the firepower to keep up with Texas. I think assuming Quinn Ewers is fully healthy, it could be a pretty lopsided victory for them. But that game's always drunk, so you never know.
I think it's actually going to be a little bit closer because I think Quinn Ewers does make mistakes. I think he'll make a mistake in this one. But you're right. They don't have the firepower. And Deion Burks apparently might be out. If that's the case, then they might be cooked.